Hyperliquid just pumped over 70% in a matter of days, and in today's video, I'll be sharing my next trade setup along with the bullish and bearish scenarios from here. I'll also be breaking down the charts for Bitcoin, Zcash, and Pump Fund token. Before we dive right into the charts, welcome back to the Vault Trading channel, your one-stop shop for macro insights and technical analysis made simple. Let's get onto it. Let's start off with Hyperliquid because this is where things get really interesting. Price action was forming a clear falling wedge pattern, which is typically a bullish reversal structure, and true enough, once the breakout happened, it was extremely aggressive. In fact, the move was so strong that we didn't even get a clean retest of the top trend line of this wedge. But price has sliced through many resistance level and went straight to a major confluence zone here, and this zone lines up with three key factors, which is daily resistance, anchored VWAP coming down here, the previous range value area high, and if I draw a fib retracement from the previous top to the bottom here, you can see it lines exactly at the 0.618. Whenever you see price react at a level with so much confluence, this is not random. This is where sellers are expected to step in, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now with this pullback. So the question now is, where do we go from here? Now, if we zoom into the 15 minutes time frame, we can clearly see that price is starting to retrace within a downtrend parallel channel here. As you can see, if I extend the line, you can see that the middle line is being adhered to confluently. And this looks like a healthy pullback after a very aggressive expansion move rather than a full trend reversal. So the key question is, where do we go from here? So my area of interest is on the downside that sits around the $27 to $29 region, where we have a strong resistance cluster. And that's where I'll be monitoring price action and looking for signs of a reaction to decide the next move. For the bullish case, if we see price find support and break back above the 34.6 daily resistance, that would signal renewed strength, and in that scenario, my upside would be the 38.8, which lines up with the daily resistance here. And also, if I draw a fib retracement from the top here to the bottom here, you can see it lines up exactly at the 38.8, another strong confluence zone. So for the bearish scenario, on the flip side, if price fails to hold this structure and breaks back down below the $26.8 region, that would place us back inside the prior range and open to further downside risk. If that happens, I'll stay patient and reaccess further than forcing a trade here. Alright, so let's move on to Bitcoin, the main market mover. As you can see, price is still consolidating within this range, and importantly, we are still forming higher lows here and higher highs, which is constructive and keeps the bullish structure intact. However, for bullish momentum to continue, price must hold this 87.5k region, because this area is a strong support cluster lining up with the value area low of this mini range here, the previous weekly support, and if I draw a fib retracement from the previous move up from bottom to top, you can see that the 0.618 lies at the 87.5k region. So for the bearish scenario, if the 87.5k fails to hold, the next level I'll be watching closely the 86k, which will likely be tested fairly quickly, and below that I'll expect volatility to increase as weaker hand get flushed out, so we might see the 85k and straight away the 82k. For the upside scenario, if we get a clean bounce from this support zone, 90k becomes the next immediate target, which is the point of control of the bigger range, and after that we have the CCV and anchored VWAP at the 91k, and if we break that value area high of this range and the weekly, the most important zone at the 93k. Alright, moving on to Zcash, and honestly this one is not looking great right now. At this stage, price is being compressed into a descending wedge structure, which in this context is leaning more bearish. What's happening here is that liquidity is being gradually taken from the base of the structure, and as that continues, the probability of a downside breakdown increases. So starting with the bearish case, my first key support is the base of the wedge, which is around the $326 level. If we see the clean breakdown below that area, my next major level I'll be watching is the 235 weekly support. A move to that zone would not be surprising if the broader market conditions remain weak. So on the bullish side of things, which I see as less likely unless Bitcoin turns parabolic, there's still a scenario where price breaks out above the wedge. If that happens, I want to see Zcash breaks the 399 region first, the 477, and then the $500 region. But until I see this kind of strength, I remain cautious on this chart, and at the moment we'll only be looking for shorts. Alright, the final chart I want to talk about today is the pump fund token, ticker pump. Ever since we have first highlighted from the breakout of this falling wedge structure, price action has continued to print higher highs and higher lows. And what's impressive is that it did it even while Bitcoin and Solana was pulling back. And that relative strength tells me a lot, and it gives me more conviction that the local bottom of pump may already be in. For the bullish case, my next upside target sits at the point 00364, and this level lines up with the daily resistance and also the 0.618 fib retracement of this move down. You can see it lines up exactly. If we manage to break and hold above that level, then the 0.0041, which is the next fib level, becomes the next area of interest. On the bearish scenario, my first level of support is the 0.00272, which is in line with the previous high, which is here, which also in line with the fib retracement of this previous move up. You can see it lines at the 0.618 also. So this will be my first level of support, and my second level of support will be the daily support at the 0.002465. As long as pump continues to show relative strength versus the rest of the market, this chart is definitely on my watch list. Alright, so just to wrap things up, today we've covered 4 charts: Bitcoin, Hyperliquid, Zcash, and Pump Fund, breaking down where we are in the current market structure and both the bullish and bearish scenario for each. I'm officially getting back into the video of recording videos again after my previous channel got removed for absolutely no reason, so your support genuinely means a lot. If you found value in this breakdown, it would really help if you can help like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And drop a comment below letting me know which coins you want me to analyze next. I'll do read them and I'll cover the most requested ones. And that's it for me for today. I'll see you in the next one.
Welcome to the fall, this is where we flip. Alpha in the code, never use my grip. From the floor to the moon, that's a one-way trip. We don't follow hype, we make the script.